once you get knocked out, or not even knocked out, but beat like that, you're never the same. What do you think?
Welcome back once again to the Pound for Pound Boxing Channel. I'm your boy Mac, and today we will be discussing the return of Caleb Sweet Hands Plant as he will be taking on Trevor Mccumby live on September 14th on the Canelo main card. Now, I want to ask you guys something. Do you guys believe that Caleb still has what it takes to become champion, or did he lose his purpose? Now, as usual, I will hand this over to my co-host. Now, let's talk boxing.
Welcome back to the Pound for Pound Boxing Channel. My name's Eric.
And I'm Alex.
And we are waiting to see the return of Caleb Plant entering the ring versus Trevor Mccumby. Of course, a lot of people doubt Caleb Plant. He hasn't fought. His last 3 fights has ended in 1 knockout and 2 defeats, of course, to Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez. But a lot of people might ask, what's Caleb's purpose?
Yeah, it's hard to say because, he took a terrible beating against Benavidez. He looked very good against Durrell, and I just feel like a beating like he took last time with Benavidez is going to take a lot out of a fighter. I feel like a fighter, once you get knocked out, or not even knocked out, but beat like that, you're never the same. What do you think, his purpose is coming out?
I think that Caleb Plant's an interesting fighter. Of course, we have seen him lose, and we have seen him get beat pretty bad. But the thing with Caleb Plant, he's always a live dog in there. No matter what, he's always in the fight. Against Canelo Alvarez, people argue that he was beating Canelo before he got knocked out. And against David Benavidez, he was winning the first half until, his fatigue came in, and then he just ultimately got beat. But Caleb Plant's a live dog, man. So, again, I think this is the perfect opponent for Caleb Plant to come back and make a spectacle.
Yeah.
Of course, Trevor Mccumby, respect to him, but he's honestly not fought nobody. This guy's 32 years old. Even Caleb Plant called him a prospect,
He's really out to make Caleb Plant look good, the return of Caleb Plant.
Of course, and that's what they're setting it up. This guy's never even fought for an interim title, a junior title. He hasn't fought for anything. He does have 28 wins and 21 knockouts, which is impressive, but again, against 2. He hasn't fought nobody. We know Caleb Plant has some experience. He has been a world champion. He's fought people like Durrell, David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez. So we know he has experience.
Yeah, he has experience.
But the thing I'm most looking forward to see is if Plant's going to be the same. Of course, you said that when you take a beating like that, it's hard to come back.
Yeah, it takes a pound of flesh out of you. And I just, if, let's say, he does get by this fight, which I'm pretty sure he is, I think he's trying to aim for a Canelo rematch, especially since Canelo's going through this easy tour of his.
You have to think he is. The guy lost. He could. The only guy that has the belts at 168 is Canelo. Of course,
because the IBF is free right now.
Yeah, but I really doubt. Only people that want a belt are going to go that way because they're not going to make no money with the guy that has the belt.
Yeah, but if Caleb Plant were to get the IBF belt and then fights Canelo could promote it as double times undisputed.
2 times undisputed.
2 times
correct.
undisputed.
That is true, but I think Caleb Plant wants to just fight everybody. I've seen a couple interviews already where they've asked him if he does get past Mccumby, who does he want to fight. He's mentioned people like Jamal Charlo, which is good because Jamal Charlo's, if I'm not mistaken, already training again.
Yeah.
He wants to fight people like Andrade. He wants to fight people like Edgar Berlanga. We've seen them trash talk a lot during the whole antics of this fight. So he has a couple names to fight out there at 168. So it's just a matter of time to see the way Caleb Plant's going to perform. And the thing with Caleb Plant's style is he's a boxer.
Yeah.
Right? So we know that he has to have some athleticness in him. And the only part that's questionable is after him taking those beatings, does that athleticism go away?
Yeah.
Or does it stay? Because someone like, for example, Roy Jones Jr., one of the best fighters to ever walk the planet, he was one of the most perfect fighters when it came to speed, power, athleticism. But we saw that when he came back down from heavyweight, he took damage. And after that, he was never the same. He started losing. He had a couple good wins, but he started losing, never the same. And it seems like to me, when you have that type of style, it's a great style to have. But when you take a beating, it's kind of hard to come back from it.
Yeah, and I just feel like something's telling me with Caleb Plant, since he's gonna be a throwback type of fighter, he's actually gonna let his hands go. I feel like since he took the beating, he knows how it feels like. He's gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna try to make a point off this win, and he's actually gonna throw down with his opponent and possibly even get the stoppage.
We'd love to see that. It's literally a rise or fall scenario with Caleb Plant, because if he were to lose to someone like this guy, a guy at this caliber, I feel like you could say that it's kind of the end of Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm sure that a lot of people have Caleb Plant winning. Of course, we have Caleb Plant winning. This guy hasn't done nothing in this sport, and Caleb Plant is a decorated. You could even argue that he's top 3 168-pounder. Because who else behind Canelo could you say right now? David Morrell is out of the picture. David Benavidez is out of the picture. So it's really only Canelo, Munguia, Caleb Plant, and Munguia just took a hard loss to Canelo. So at this point, you could say he's in the top 3, top 5, wherever you want to put him. But again, it's exciting to see where he goes from here. I prefer to see him fight all the other fighters before getting a rematch with Canelo. Because
that would be perfect.
At this point in Canelo's career, it just seems like Canelo wants to pick who he's going to fight. And I don't know if it's going to sell a lot if he were to fight Caleb Plant for a rematch. So,
well, who knows, right? Because in the press conference with Berlanga, it already looked like he was setting up the seeds, planting the seeds of a rematch. He was already talking about there's always going to be competition between him and Canelo. And, obviously I'd love to see him go up against Charlo and who else? Berlanga. Everyone, but before Canelo, before he gets that rematch. And then maybe call it a quits.
Me personally, I would like to see Edgar fight those fights, but if not, it would be interesting him at 175.
Yeah.
Now, hear me out. I know he doesn't have the power because he barely has power at 168, but the skill and the speed he has kind of reminds me of a Dimitri Bivol. Obviously, Bivol's a lot, 10 times better.
Yeah.
But regardless, Caleb Plant is a very good boxer, and him being slick, being very flexible, moving, being big, he's a big 168-pounder. He could possibly do some damage at 175, and I wouldn't be against it. I would like to see him in there with David Morrell.
With some fighters, yeah.
Definitely against David Morrell. I would love to see that fight stylistically. I feel like it's a fan-friendly fight. But let us know what you guys think down below, man. Do you guys think Caleb Plant will return to the ring to dominate, or do you guys think this might be the end for Caleb Plant? Thank you guys once again for tuning in. My name's Eric.
And I'm Alex.
And I'm your boy, Mac. Thank you guys once again for tuning in to the Pound for Pound Boxing channel. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we're out.